Hello guys, good evening. Well, it's good evening for me because it's 11:37 p.m. in a cold night. But maybe for you it's good morning or good afternoon, I don't know. Well, welcome to our last class of Human Capital. So remember, put your headphones or earphones on and let's go. Well guys, today we're going to continue talking about the human capital management. We started with this topic in last class and we said that the human resources or the human capital management has 5 steps. These 5 steps are the following. Yes, and we talked about detecting staff needs. This is one of the most important parts because here we're going to know what are the needs of the company related to the staff, right? What are the needs in every specific area and what is the specific position that it's needed in the organization. And we said that we're going to use some tools to detect, some instruments to detect that need. And those instruments could be the interview, the observation, the questionnaire, and the mixed methods. So today we're going to continue talking about the recruitment. Let's see the following slide to know what the recruitment is. Well, it says that the recruitment is all the activities focused on identifying and attracting the staff. I mean the people who is going to work in the company and that is going to occupy the position that is required in every specific area. This is to attract the potentially qualified candidates, but for that it's very important to know what are the requirements. And we detected that in the previous step, which was the detecting of the needs. To detect the needs, we're going to base on the manuals, the job descriptions, on the job analysis, and we're going to create a profile. That profile is what we're going to use to attract the people that we need. We're going to look people who fulfills or who has all the characteristics of that specific profile of the specific position that we require. But let's see what are the type of recruitment that exists in a company. Well, as we could see, there are 3 types of recruitment. The first type of recruitment is the internal. What is that? Before offering a position to the people who come from outside the company, we are going to identify if there is some talent inside the company that maybe has all the characteristics that we require to be in a position. So the first candidates come from the company. It's very usual that the companies give this opportunity to the workers that already are in a company. And for this, the company helps the candidate to develop the required skills or the knowledge or the competences that are needed. Sometimes people which work inside the company, they used to practice for a new position. After their shift, they stay at the work, they stay in the hotel in a specific area in order to acquire what it is necessary to be in a position. In case that this person is the most suitable candidate for being in a position, the company gives him a promotion or a change of area. This kind of transfers or promotion, it's something that is good for the company because these people that already works on the company already know the organization philosophy. So they know what is the working style and how this company focuses all its efforts in order to achieve a goal. With this, as the company gives this opportunity of improvement for the worker feels more identified with the company, and this is traduced in more compromised workers. The other type is external. What is this? It's when the company attracts people from outside. This also can be good because these usually gives a refreshment to the company, refreshment to the area, because usually come people that not only have the requirements or the skills or the competences and the knowledge that is necessary for a position, but also they come with new ideas. And this is like a refreshment because this brings a new air to the company or to a specific area. And sometimes having this external vision means that these people is not like contaminated or influenced by the work environment. The work environment, sometimes used to corrupt the people, and they don't work as they used to work when they were new workers. That's why this can be something positive. Also, this can be mixed. I mean, when new candidates, people from outside and the people that are already in the company, they apply for the position. In this case, there must be a very, very picky selection process, because the people who is in charge of the recruitment needs to know that the people has what is required, but also they need to measure the attitude of the people that are currently working in the company and put that in a balance with maybe the new ideas that a new person can bring to a position. So that selection is not something easy. Let's see what are the steps for the recruitment. Well, the step number 1, it says that a new position arises to be filled either because it is created or because it is free. But no matter what is the reason, it means that a new position is free and available for a candidate. Step number 2, the selection area is informed about this need, but who is going to inform about this need? The manager of the specific area where the new staff is required. They are going to inform the human resources that they need a person to fill a position, to be in a new position, to fill a position, and then the human resources is in charge of looking for that person that has what is required to be in that position. Then it says job description is necessary is required to specify functions and objectives. We already have a job description, and we're going to use that as a guide to know what exactly is required for the new person, for the new candidate in the position that is needed. That job description is going to help us with the following 2 steps. With the description of skills necessary to carry out the tasks, and that the position profile, the type of work to be performed. Then the position is analyzed to know its importance, to know if really it is necessary to look for external people, or people from inside the company can be trained in order to acquire the specific competences, skills, and knowledge that is needed in the position. In case of external required, the means to attract the people are established. These means can be social media, maybe the news, the newspaper, the radio, or other means that we're going to see later. And finally, the potential candidates are received in the company. They provide a resume and sometimes a cover letter. A resume is the document that indicates what is the experience of the person, what is the knowledge, what is the academical level, what are the competences, and what this person is able to do, and if it is enough to perform the position. These external ways or these external resources that can be used to attract people can be in universities and schools through conferences. This is something that can be good for a company because this way they can attract people that are updated in terms of knowledge. Maybe they don't have experience, the students, but they have like the fresh knowledge, and they usually are young people that can bring some fresh air or new air to the company. The other one is impersonal association related to the requested area. For example, if the requested area is related to the accountancy, they can go to association of accountants looking for the correct candidate to be in the position required. The following is job banks, placement agencies, or headhunters. Well, these are like groups or association that attract the people from outside the hotel, and they are like the first filter. I mean, they know what are the requirements of the company, and they make like a first selection, and then that people that has talent. I mean, a headhunter, for example, is a person who look for talent in order to take that talent to the correct place. In Spanish, we call it bolsa de trabajo, agencias de empleos, o cazatalentos. That are the headhunters. They are not like people who live in the jungle and are going to cut your head off or something like that. No. Then online sources like social media, I mean social networks, or digital forums, I mean in internet. So there are like the classical media, it means newspaper, radio, or television, or maybe in some specialized print media like magazines, specialized magazines, or something like that. And finally, candidates who come directly to the company. There are some candidates who take the resume to the company, explaining their abilities, knowledge, skills, and competences, looking for a job opportunity. The placement agencies or the headhunters that we talked about in the previous point, they are called outsourcing. What is outsourcing? The outsourcing are companies from outside that make a specific job that is needed to be performed in the company, but they are external. For example, imagine that the hotel needs promotion, but they don't have a promotion area inside the company. They are going to look for an external company that is going to do the work that they need to be done. Sometimes the companies use these outsourcing in order to skip that part of the work. So they don't need to make like a pre-selection, like a first filter, because the candidates that go to the hotel, they already have passed a filter. So that is something helpful, because the people who is going to arrive there are like a warranty for the company that have the required knowledge or skills or competence. The following step in the human capital management is a selection. What is a selection? The selection is a process that comes after the recruitment. First, detection of the needs, then recruitment. Now, these people was attracted to the company. Now there is a process, a very, very difficult process of selecting the correct person to be in that position. So the person in charge in human resources, they need to check all the CVs, I mean the curriculum or the resume, the cover letters, and the people that passed that filter is required to be interviewed by a specialized person inside the company. Usually it is the manager of the area that requires the staff. Okay, then in the selection can be considered a physical exam, a health evaluation, a psychological evaluation. If some specific skill is required, like a language or the operation of some equipment, the person needs to prove that really has that competence or skill or knowledge. Or sometimes also a grading exam can be applied. Sometimes the people need to pass many filters. I mean, the first one, which is their CV or the resume or the resume or whatever, then the interview with the manager, then the interview with the general manager, interview or the evaluation with the specialized person in the area, then the psychological exam, then the health evaluation, then the physical exam. It depends on the type of the position required. But it is a very, very difficult part to choose the correct one to be in the position required. Well guys, I don't know why, but the last part of the video was not recorded, but we finished with that. I hope it was clear for you. If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask me, to send me an email, to send me a WhatsApp, or however you want. But please, if you have any question or doubt, ask me. And well, that's it guys, and don't forget to be happy.